26 of us here so far. All right. You can keep the chat box going, but try not to disturb the session by doing that whiteboard thing that we were doing yesterday. I don't think Nitesh will be allowing that next time. So that's all. And if possible, I would like you to turn on videos. Well, only if possible. If you are somewhere outside, or it's all right. But if you can, please do. Let it be a interactive session. It shouldn't feel like I'm talking to a computer screen. Mhm. Yes, I think my internet is not good. Am I audible? Nitesh,
Yeah, so Vamshi, it's cracking a bit. I would advise you if the bandwidth is slow, just turn off your video and you can conduct the session for today.
all right. I think this is better.
Yeah, a
I
better,
don't know about this internet.
a bit better. Yeah.
Hostel Wi-Fi. All right. I'm waiting for just one more minute. I'll start at 9:05. Uh, people- all right. Shall we start? Uh,
Yeah, you are audible. You can go ahead,
yes.
Vamshi.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a good day. I'm just trying to open today's slideshow. We'll start in a moment. I thought of just skimming through what we covered yesterday. Uh, I don't think that's required because I've anyway shared the slides. So I'm hoping people were attentive yesterday and took notes or at least revised what was shared post the session. So I'll directly jump to today's plan of action. One moment, let me share my screen. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
All right, let's start. Uh, just a second. Yeah, so yesterday we saw what officer-like qualities are, and in the context of the Indian Armed Forces, what value they have, and why these qualities are required in any officer aspirant. So I hope you understood the basics well. Uh, Nitesh, people are still able to scratch on the screen. I
Yeah,
know.
hold on. Let me see.
You take care of that. All right, let me continue. So I'll be covering screening tests mostly today, and with that, there are a few related concepts which is good to know. So please pay attention for the next 30 or 35 minutes. We'll cover this quickly, and then we'll have a discussion on your doubts relevant to this session. All right. So, what does intelligence mean? If you think of intelligence in a civilian context, you would say probably getting a good grade in an exam or being able to be street smart and run a business successfully or an number of such things. But in the military, intelligence means being able to think on your feet and win wars. Or let's say there is a situation which you had never anticipated, tackling that without panicking. So, if you had understood what officers are meant to do, what the core responsibilities of officers are from yesterday's session, you can relate to that and think of what intelligence would actually mean in the context of the armed forces. You being an officer, what do they mean that you have to be intelligent? Let's say in SSB, if there is a command task given to you, are you able to think under pressure and even basic things, can you just go ahead and implement them? So that kind of intelligence is not found very commonly in everyone. A person can be scoring 100 on 100 in mathematics and physics in his 12th and still be faltering in very basic things like PGT and command tasks. Or in psych tests, he may not be able to follow simple instructions. So overall, during the course of these 5 days, and even before those 5 days, the first day, that is your screening test, OIR, the Officer Intelligence Rating Test, is designed to check how good you are in terms of your aptitude, in terms of very basic intelligence. And these questions are not uh, looking at any mathematics skills, any high level logical reasoning like these competitive exams. Very simple things which any person with a brain and with some sort of understanding of uh, very simple logics can be solving. So, yeah, academic intelligence is different, emotional intelligence is different, and social intelligence is different. And uh, armed forces require all these three types of intelligence in good quantity. So, academic intelligence, obviously, unless you are well read, unless you are able to think when a situation arises, you cannot uh, perform duties. You are not going as a Jawan, you are not going as an assistant or a clerk, you are going as a leader. So, basic academic intelligence is expected. Emotional intelligence, again, being able to deal with failures, being able to handle pressure and still perform, handling your team well, not cribbing when faced with difficulties, etc. All these uh, combined can be called emotional intelligence. And social intelligence is how you get things done by being tactful with people, how well you can talk and convince a person and get your job done. It is very important in field and peace locations for because you will be interacting with a lot of people, sometimes people within the military and sometimes even civilians. So unless you are able to have a good liaison with those people and get your job done, you won't be able to perform your duties well. So a combination of these three types of intelligence will make you an overall intelligent person, which is what the SSB looks for. And I hope everyone has understood this part. Going to the next slide. So yes, now the screening tests. Unless someone is very, very new to the system or hasn't heard of what is SSB, I think everyone knows what screening tests are. You have PPDT and you have OIR. So why the screening tests? The purpose. First thing, obviously, is the number of candidates reporting. There are more than 200 people usually coming for an SSB, and it is not possible, given the resources we have, to test all of them and give them a overall score on all their qualities and then take a call on whether they should be recommended. So yes, there are some baseline qualities which can be easily detected, and some people on face value do not exhibit those qualities. So they can be sent back on day one itself and encouraged to come back better prepared next time. That is the purpose of having screening tests. And of course, to remove non-serious candidates, to remove candidates who do not follow basics like documentation nahi hai, reporting late hua. Such people anyway don't deserve to become officers. So remove those people. Screening tests का purpose वो है. Structure, as I mentioned, for OIR specifically, there are broadly two kinds of questions you will face in OIR. And okay, for people who don't know anything about SSB, OIR is Officer Intelligence Rating. So you will be given aptitude tests in which there will be two sets of questions. In one set, you will have primarily verbal questions, and in the other set, you will have a combination of verbal and non-verbal questions. Very simple aptitude questions, which you usually have in any of your campus placements. First round aptitude test, होती है, psychometric test, aptitude test. So that part, the aptitude part, is what SSB also looks for. And very simple questions you can go through official DIPR sets also. I have seen people sharing them on Telegram. If I find those resources, I'll share them in the group, or you people have better access, so you can share amongst yourselves if anyone has these documents. Even otherwise, if you refer to any simple books, like I think there is one author, R.S. Agarwal or someone. Yeah, R.S. Agarwal. He has authored a very good book on aptitude tests. That is a little higher level. It is used for competitive exams like CAT, etc. But if you go through that, if you understand all the concepts well, you should be able to crack OIR really easily. So, in these tests, what are the key things you should be taking care of? Speed and accuracy, obviously. Uh, Trainability indicator. This is one thing which I need to stress upon. Please remind me after this session. It is not very simple for freshers to understand, so I'm skipping this part for now. If anyone is curious to understand more about how OER scores are given and how you can outscore your potential, you can get back to me after this session. Uh, Basic preparation is you should be able to practice all kinds of questions before reporting, and you should have enough confidence to tackle any of those questions in those common topics that are given. That is about the structure of the OIR and how you can prepare yourself. The second test and the most, how do I put this? Most misconceptions are around this test when it comes to screening. Some people say I wrote a very good story. I analyzed the picture very well. I even narrated it extremely well. I was the person who was elected to narrate the common story for our group, and still I was screened out. So I keep hearing these kind of statements. Let us understand the concept of PPDT, the very core of why this test is conducted and what are they looking for. If you understand psychological tests which come in stage two, you will see how well you are able, very basic things like whether you are able to observe the picture well, whether you are able to form a story and write it within the given time. Very basic things like imagination, time management, being able to perform under pressure, uh, etc., that cover your basic psychological aspects. And when you sit down in that semicircle and you listen to others, your group qualities come out, your GTO part of tests, very, very basic uh, qualities emerge during the course of this PPDT. Yeah, I was talking about group qualities. Whether you are able to discuss in a very cordial manner without being too assertive or without being too submissive. Can you put forward your points when it is chaotic? Can you lead the group towards the right direction? These basic qualities will emerge when you perform your PPDT. And of course, the interview part is when you narrate your individual story. Are you confident enough to talk in front of a group when three assessors are looking at the group? And your basic communication skills, your body language, your confidence, all these qualities are uh, checked. And if the assessors feel that you are worth taking their 4 days and testing in detail, they will screen you in and then you will progress to stage two. So the first part is a picture is shown to you for 30 seconds. You will write a story for 4 minutes and then you'll be given a minute to narrate your own story. And around 10-15 minutes is given for the entire group to come together and discuss among themselves to come to a common consensus and narrate a story. So that is what PPDT is. And there are some misconceptions on how the grading is done, and there is a proper numbering system on what is the criteria for getting selected or recommended for stage two, that is clearing your screening test. I'll share that document after this session. Like OIR, agar 1 to 5 mein, if you are top rated, even if one of the assessors among these three, the interviewing officer, the psychologist, and the GTO, says yes or even doubtful, you will be screened in. But for that, you should have scored outstandingly well in OIR. If your OIR is 2, that is, you have not performed the best, but you are highly above average, at least two of the assessors should say yes. So there's a proper matrix to it, like how many assessors should say yes or doubtful for what OIR, for which you should be screened in. There is a document on this. I'll share this after the session. You don't need to worry about that at this stage. We are still covering basics, so I understand why this test. Just give me one moment. There's some noise here. Hold for around 30 seconds. I'll be back. Sorry. All right. Sorry. Uh, Typical boys hostel problem. Someone was playing loud music inside my cabin. So I was talking about PPDT. So yeah, this is the very basic thing that you need to understand, OIR and PPDT, and how uh, these tests are designed and why they are conducted. Let us get into how you can perform well and all that later. Again, these are very basic things which is available on the internet, but still I've put it in the slide for people to just go through and revise. This I'm skipping. I don't need to cover this. Almost सबको पता ही होगा ये सब. Again, very basics which everyone should be knowing almost by now. Take a central character who resembles you in age, in gender, in qualities, etc. Try to take some task, be it a very simple task, because when you follow this structure, taking a central character, having some goal, and going through a journey in order to reach that goal, it is easier for you to show most of your qualities in a manner which a psychologist would require. And this applies for TAT also in stage two. So don't get into the questioning on why this structure needs to be followed. I can just write a random story without a hero, without a mission. A story is a story, so why should it have this structure? There is logic to it, but I don't want to get into the details of it because it will become too technical for people without background in psychology. It may sound very unfamiliar. So if you are still interested, we'll have a discussion about this post the session. But for now, very simple thing. You should have a central character who resembles you. You should have a mission in that story. A mission can be very simple. Even passing a very simple unit test in your college can be a mission. Running 100 meters in under 20 seconds, which is very easy, can also be a mission for a person who is preparing for it. And how you, the central character, uses resources at his or her disposal in order to execute the plan and then reach the goal at the end will be a basic structure for any story. So there are some pitfalls which you should avoid. You cannot just write there was a hero, there was a mission, and somehow things worked out and luck favored him, and then in the end, sab theek thak ho gaya. This is not a Bollywood story. So you need to explain how those things were done. That is the main part of your story, in fact. Even if you do not stress upon the hero, the mission, the execution is the most important thing. That is where most of your qualities will emerge. Your intelligence, your uh, all the basic qualities which anyone should have, your courage, etc. Because execution is the most important thing. बाकी तो imagination है. You are taking a mission because वो picture दिख रही है. But how you do it is not shown in the picture. That is your imagination. That is what you have been doing in your life. So you are putting out responses which are coming out of your subconscious mind. So again, I'm going into a little detail because there may be a few people who may question this, so for their benefit. And that is all. The execution part, by just saying how it was done in detail, you can make your story better. Yes, narration and the discussion, how your individual narration should be, how the group discussion should be. Very basic things which I think everyone knows. What is observed there and what you need to do in order to perform well. I've just put a brief of uh, what everyone should know. Or you can go through this slide later. Again, a common story. There need not be a 100% common story. That is never possible because you are a group of 12 to 15 very, very unique people. You are coming from different backgrounds, you have seen different lives. So it is impossible for you to think on the same lines and write a very common story. So you cannot come to one consensus, but the aim is to discuss very cordially, discuss in a democratic way, and try to come towards a common story, which either most of you would have written some common points, and the group may agree to that. Or if there is one person who can convince the rest of the team that their story or their points were good, then also the group will drive towards a common consensus. It is impossible to be 100% common, but if you move towards the direction, it is naturally showing that uh, the person who is driving the discussion or a group of people who are driving the discussion are exhibiting some good qualities. So the real goal is not making the final story or getting to a consensus, but the process of how you are talking, of how you are convincing people, and how are you listening when other people are speaking. Are you just speaking for the sake of it, or are you adding value to the discussion, etc.? So that is what the common story looks for. So, yeah, this is simple. I hope everyone has understood. Yeah, this how to well perform in that group discussion part. Try to take your shot as early as possible. because once it gets initial points, may you should give your strongest points. Let's say you have observed something which most of the others hadn't. बैकग्राउंड में कुछ और रिसोर्स था जिसके बारे में बहुत लोगों ने ऑब्जर्व नहीं किया. So if you have observed it and you have written it in your story, you can start the discussion and say, this is what I observed and which is why this is the direction this story should go in. And these basics you need to follow. You should have a clear voice. You should sound confident. Sound, matlab you can't fake it. You should be confident. That is what emerges out there. And yeah, you don't need to speak 10 times or 15 times. Even if you speak only once or only two times throughout the course of the discussion, but you add very good value, you add strikingly good points when you speak, and when you show good cooperation, when you let others speak, you are having a better chance than some people say. I spoke for almost half the time and still I got screened out. So that is exactly why that person got screened out, because he was talking too much and adding little value to the discussion. So focus on that quality over quantity. Have a very clear voice. Try to initiate early, although it is not mandatory. It gives you an advantage when you start. You can give the best points when you initiate early, and towards the end, it becomes chaotic anyway. So try to take that lead early on, and do not get into petty fights or dominating the discussion or just staying quiet after being bullied. So you should be able to handle contradiction within a group. So accept uh, gracefully if anyone counters your point, if you find logic in the other person's point, or if you want to have a rebuttal, you can just say that respectfully. So, and again, very basic things in any discussion, no abuses, no personal attacks, talk with logic and not with emotion. Uh, be flexible. If you feel you were wrong when you gave some point or when you wrote something in your story, accept it. And you should just not go with the majority because most of the people are saying it. If you find logic in it and also majority of people are saying it, then yes. Otherwise, you should be able to freely counter the point, even if it is accepted by the majority. So this process reveals your personality traits. The entire process, I mean, the story writing part, the individual narration part, and the group discussion part. So if you are a good person, a person with officer-like qualities in your real life, it will naturally emerge there also. Even otherwise, these guidelines will help you project yourself better and you'll have a better shot
Perfect.
at getting screened in. So yeah, this is all I wanted to cover. Screening में बहुत ही basic चीज है, तो I don't have any huge content points for today's session. I think I'll open uh, for discussion now. You can unmute people, Nitesh.
Yeah, I'll go order wise. So first one to raise the hand is Devansh. I'll just unmute him. Devansh, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Uh,
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
good evening, sir. So
Good
my
evening.
question was, sir, you have mentioned that how we handle stress in the difficult, different situations. So
Right.
how we should improve it?
Can you repeat the question? You were not properly audible to me.
Sir, my question was, you have mentioned that one of the key factor is how
Hmm.
we handle the stressful condition.
Hmm.
So is there any way we can improve it?
How to handle stressful. One is what I told yesterday also. Do not have too much stakes for your SSB. Even if you do not get recommended, that is not the end of your life. So do not go with an obsession कि आज मुझे recommend होना ही है or this is my life and this is all I know. Uh, I think someone else is unmuted. Nitesh, please take care of it. So if you do not have that pressure, Sorry, was I on mute all this while?
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah. I think I went on mute for a while. So I was saying, first, do not take undue pressure. Just go with a calm, fresh mind. That will help you not take stress at all. But even when you are stressed, how to improve that one quality of not feeling pressure at all. This is one thing which I used to follow, and I've seen a lot of people who go with that attitude performing relatively better. And your natural ability will improve when you put yourself through stressful situations in real life. Let's say you were afraid of uh, talking on a stage. So if you do it repeatedly, after a while, you won't feel that fear anymore. So that is the only way you can improve your ability of handling pressure. Just putting yourself through those situations time and again, and eventually you will become better at it. There is no person who can go on stage 10 times and feel afraid even the 10th time. तो 10 बार करोगे तो 10th टाइम तक improve हो ही गया होगा. So that is what you should do. And obviously, do not, the first point that I told, don't take undue pressure. It is just a test. Even if you do not get recommended, it is not the end of the world. So have that attitude and put yourself through stressful situations again and again in real life. And again, these are not very stressful situations also. Again, give me 1 minute. I'll just mute these people outside. The next question can be ready by then.
Okay. Next one in the line is Sakshi Singh. I'll just ask you to unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, Nitesh. Shall I just continue or wait for
No,
sir to come?
hold on. Let Vamshi come.
Okay.
All right, sorry. So I've answered the first question. Who goes next? Please ask your question.
Go ahead, Sakshi.
Okay, sir. Jai Hind, sir. So my question was that the screening out percentage in all the girls' entries, like recently I gave my serious entry.
Mm-hmm.
So girls usually get there is a higher percentage of female your women entries जहाँ पे आप screen out हो जाते हैं. So how to introspect then? Because it gets really tough to understand what all have we done wrong there.
Again,
So,
how is it getting difficult to introspect? Because the percentage of screening in is different. Your performance is your performance anyway. If you are screened out, you are screened out. You don't need to question the system कि लड़कियों का कम है. Actually, I would deny that because ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. In fact, I am hearing these days from boys that लड़कियां ज्यादा recommend हो रही है, ज्यादा screen हो रही है, and हमें opportunities नहीं मिल रहा. But again, that is subjective to what individual experience was, and let us not get into discussing that because we don't have enough data. मैं एक सेंटर का पूछ सकता हूँ, 2 सेंटर्स का पूछ सकता हूँ. An entire entry across all batches, no one exactly knows कितने लोग screening हुए थे. All these are very कैसे बताऊं limited view of uh, how things are done. अगर तुम्हारे पास पूरा data है and if you can get the number of people who are exactly screened in, only then we can comment on boys versus girls का discussion. Coming to how you can introspect, it is the same. I don't think it depends on कितने लोग हो रहे हैं. Your performance, you know what kind of qualities you exhibited during those tests, especially screening. We are talking only about screening today. So that won't change. Have I answered your question or is it still confusing? You can continue talking, Sakshi. Are you there on the call, Sakshi?
oh, so I was on mute. Sorry, sir. Yeah, I'm satisfied with your answer. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Next person, please.
Yeah, next one in the line is Aman Doon. I'm just asking you to unmute yourself.
All right, Nitesh, do one thing.
Yeah.
all those who have raised their hands, just unmute them all and let them be.
Okay.
Don't mute them
Okay.
again. All right.
Okay.
Aman, go next.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Sir, I had doubt regarding screening process, sir. In my recent SSB, I had made the story completely different from others. I had made a story that the boys are hosting the athletic events, but most of the chess numbers had made story that they were on the cycle expedition. Sir, at
Okay.
that time, what we had to do?
Again, I told you people are different from each other, so everyone need not write the same story when a very hazy picture is given. So it's all right for you to have a different story. But when the discussion happens, unless you have a very big logical point which says, no, it was an athletic expedition and it was not some cycling event, you can't argue with the group. Go with the majority, accept that that is how things were. Let's say there was no cycle at all in the picture. You can argue saying there were no cycles, so why do we want to assume that it's a cycling expedition? Let us go with athletic meet because something else was visible. There was a running track I could see, or I don't know, I'm just taking random examples, but you can argue with logic and try to convince the group. Or if you feel it was very unclear and you are only not sure whether it was an athletic event kind of a picture or not, you can just go with the majority. You don't need to convince the group. And I don't think it's a problem to follow either. You can either try and convince the group with logic or go with the majority. It depends on how the environment is there. If the group is hostile and you are unable to convince, then just accept and try to add value to the discussion without countering it. Or if it is very cordial, if you feel you can convince them, of course, only if you have a logical point to convince them, then go ahead and do that also. So, yeah.
Neha
Next.
Rawat, please go ahead.
Jain sir.
Mhm.
So my question actually is to how to tackle the negative kind of stories. As there is a
The-
myth ki positive and neutral stories को रखना चाहिए basically, but if it is showing clearly the negative side, तो उसको कितने level तक लेके जाना है negative sense पे?
See, there is no negative or positive story. Actually, there is no negative or positive picture. These very short-sighted tips which people keep giving, ki be positive or show that these I don't know what do you call some SSB mantras that people give. There is no logic to it. What do you mean by a positive story? In your understanding, what is a positive picture or a positive story? Let's say there is a rape, there is a murder, or there is some theft going on. In your perception, that is negative. Correct? Correct?
Yes sir.
So these are not negative images. These are stressful situations or situations of crisis. So these are actually the right kind of pictures for you to explain how things are done and for you to show your good qualities. Let's say there is some crisis, there is a theft, there is an attempt of rape, or there is an attempt of murder, or anything of that sorts being shown in the picture. There is a great opportunity for you to handle that crisis and emerge as the hero out of this situation. So it is in fact a positive story if such pictures are given. So there is no negative or positive story. What you write should follow the structure I told, and you should be able to exhibit your qualities through that story. That is all you need to do. And if there are pictures showing crisis, then it is all the more opportunity for you to write a great story and narrate it well. Did you
I got
understand
it
this or
sir.
should I? All right.
Yes sir. Thank you.
You're
Pri-
welcome.
Prishit, go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, you have talked about the trainability indicators
Hmm.
that we will talk it later.
सर वो इस कॉल में नहीं करते हैं यू कैन डीएम मी एंड वी कैन हैव अ डिस्कशन बिकॉज वो ज्यादा टेक्निकल है लेट अस नॉट कंफ्यूज अदर्स आई वांट टू कीप दिस वेरी बेसिक
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
नेक्स्ट वन प्लीज
Satyam.
Jain sir.
जय सत्यम
Sir, my question is regarding my last SSB experience. Actually, I was at SSB is Bangalore,
हम्म
and there I was like I it was my fresher attempt in SSB, but I got listed in a screened out batch. So my whole group was very aggressive and like they didn't allow anyone to speak even when the assessors divided the group. They were whole like making the chaos. So like how to handle that kind of situation?
That was unfortunate. Why didn't you ask the uh, staff there to put you in a freshers batch? Why did that even happen? You
Uh,
as a fresher were put in that batch.
Sir, actually, I didn't knew.
Hmm.
The group was evenly divided. There were like 33 freshers, and the group was divided into 15-15 of batch, and three extras were put in the screen out batch.
Again, that shouldn't make a big deal. That was a little unfortunate, but even considering कि you were put in a group which had people who were very aggressive, the same thing will happen in a freshers group also. Do you think freshers these days are any less? They also have come with a lot of coaching, a lot of wrong guidance, a lot of baggage in their head that and obviously, I'm saying all negative things, but there is a positive side also. Everyone is desperate to get recommended. They have a lot of josh, motivation, intent, whatever. So वो fight तो होना ही है. Don't expect a very simple discussion because people have come there for their, I would say, not even career. This is life goal, the biggest dream of their lives for some people. So obviously there will be uh, uh, competition. So you can't expect to have a very simple discussion first thing. And even when
Yes,
that
sir.
happens, there are opportunities for you to try and control the group, or even if you don't control the group, you can pitch in when there is silence. There won't be any chaotic discussion for 15-20 minutes continuously. There will come a point where it will tone down, or you will get at least 1 second gap in between where you can pitch in your point. You can
Okay,
use
sir.
many things like either you can raise your voice and tell the group to calm down, or you can use your hand gestures. You can point out people and say, I think you are speaking too much and not letting others do. That is allowed. Any basic group discussion etiquettes that you need to follow should be followed. There is no special thing कि SSB group discussion में ये फंडा है. Any discussion which happens in your campus, which happens in your respective organizations, if anyone of you is a working professional, the same etiquettes are to be followed here. Nothing special. If it is a
Okay,
chaotic
sir.
discussion, just try to put your point respectfully. If not, try for the group to calm down a little, and during that, take an entry and make your point. That is all.
Okay, sir. Thanks for that.
Next. Yes, Biswa Bhusan, please go
Go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
Thanks, sir.
Zain.
Uh, Sir, just I recently I have faced one problem.
Hmm.
So that is since I was continuing my martial arts classes. So today sir was absent, so I and one of my friend was continuing classes. Since
Okay.
I'm the final year student, so all were juniors to me. So the main problem occurred was my friend who was in the final year. He
Why are you
generally,
telling
sir,
all
don't.
this? Is your
No,
doubt
sir.
related
Actually,
to
sir, the
today's
main
session?
point is that no, sir. The main point is that he generally do not listen to me at all.
Okay.
So if that the case is there in SSB, so what should we do like there?
Again, how is that related to what we covered today?
No, sir. Actually, during the PPDT, during PPT that occurs that there's fish market like situation. So how should we avoid that?
वो तो ऐसे ही पूछ लेते हैं यार इतना कहानी क्यों बताया if there is chaos I just answered this question
Yes.
the person who spoke before you asked me exactly the same thing there was a chaotic group and he was not able to speak so उसी का आंसर दिया guys again I think all these questions are very generic so these things I'll cover anyway when I post the FAQ thing I'll either post a reel or I'll put on a story for you to ask all those questions. If there is anything unique which is not generic, which you feel is very important to be discussed, only then raise your hand and ask. Otherwise, anyway, we are running out of time. We have 3 minutes to go. I've planned this till 9:50 only today. I have to go somewhere at 10. So please, if there is any very interesting question which will add value to all 158 of us present here, please go ahead. Otherwise, you can DM me, or you can just not even DM, sorry. I've been getting a lot of messages lately. You can just stay tuned on Instagram. It will take only, I think, 2 or 3 more days for me to open up that doubt session. So I'm working on how to do it online. वो होते ही I'll answer all these general questions which people have. Individually reply करूंगा, और I'll post uh, answers to common questions as a thread or on my story. So anyone who has something unique to ask amongst the people who have raised their hands. Nitesh, you can unmute all of them. You can unmute the entire batch, in fact.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Ankit this side.
Hi, Ankit.
So I recently gave my PSB entry in Chennai. So like in PPDT, what I got screened out in that. So my what I think I lagging in like proper format of the story writing and in narration. So do you recommend any book for that particular like writing proper format or like narration, the format of that? So like that's what I am asking.
You don't need to have a book to understand basic format. You are given instructions. Just pay attention for those 2 minutes when someone is giving you an instruction and just follow it. Format, matlab, where to write
So
your.
that format in the sense like where to speak that action and
तो
where to
वही ना,
like how much
that is explained when the
intro.
instructor gives you instructions. So just pay attention there. उसके लिए book कौन सा पढ़ के जाओगे भाई?
No, sir. While narrating your story, it should be like in proper format now.
So even that, why do you need a book for you to narrate a simple story in a
In
minute?
book, maybe they have some example to read out, so we
कुछ
can.
नहीं होता यार. That is what I'm telling you. You don't need to practice all these things. These are common sense, and special preparation की जरूरत नहीं है इसकी. Don't treat SSB as some very different thing from common life.
Okay.
I don't recommend any
Sir, I
narration.
want
I have a question related to my last SSB, sir. You told about like when the group gets aggressive. Sir, during like when GD, when my group got aggressive, sir, I also got aggressive, and I was like using hand gestures. I was like fighting with two of the members, and what I was doing was like I was fighting with them and giving points. Like I was asking to my friends to speak. So after that my friends told me like you were getting a bit aggressive. तो सर मुझे समझ ही नहीं आया मैं सही था या गलत था.
Did you get screened in?
Yes sir, that was like GD of GTUde.
अच्छा, second stage में.
Yes sir.
हाँ, तो friends के भी feedback, as in did you know them before or you made friends with them
No sir,
there?
in 2 days only sir. But the ones who were fighting were from a different room.
Again, these are very contextual. तुम्हारा वहाँ पे क्या experience था वो सब डिटेल में बात करके ही I can answer this question. But if you are aggressive in general, like I'm assuming whatever you said is totally correct, and मैंने तो नहीं देखा, but that shouldn't have happened. You should have still been assertive but not aggressive when you put your point. So थोड़ा try to keep your calm even when the group gets aggressive, or I don't know if they get into that fighting mode. Try to still maintain your calm and put your point logically. Say aggressive one, say you are adding to the chaos only. You are not solving the problem.
Sir, but they were not letting anyone speak sir. So I decided to get a bit
Ah,
aggressive.
not aggressive, but try to control the group by. Okay, that is, if it was inevitable, then yeah, makes sense.
Yes sir, पर मुझे समझ ही नहीं आया sir where I was wrong. I was helping my roommate sir.
So if you are not using any unjustified means like hitting someone or using foul words or showing offensive hand gestures, it's all right if you raise your voice a little and try to control the group. You are doing it for the good. You are not getting aggressive and taking the group towards no direction. if you are doing it for the good and if it works and if you are able to make the situation less chaotic, then yeah, why not?
Sir, I have a doubt regarding
Sir,
this PP and TT, sir.
Yes.
Sir, whenever I'm practicing for the story writing, or as I have observed from my stories, that I'm keep repeating that college going student character. I
Hmm.
want to be dynamic about the characters. So how I can develop that dynamic characters towards my stories?
You don't need to write stories in PPT. There's just one story. So if you want to be
Yeah,
dynamic, then choose a different character, na? I don't
yeah.
think
How I can be that? How I can choose that characters? Like
that is
जब
up
भी
to
मैं ऐसे लिख
you.
देता हूँ ना सर, मतलब जैसे जब भी मैं ऐसे कोई भी स्टोरीज लिखता हूँ तो मैं हमेशा मतलब वो स्कूल गोइंग या फिर चलो कभी ऐसे मतलब कुछ
So
डिस्ट्रिक्ट
choose a
डीएम का
different character, na? I don't
Be
know.
creative.
This is not a problem. Just be a little creative and think out of
ओके
the routine. You've always been choosing college students or school students as your main character. For a
ओके
change, choose some corporate employee, choose some athlete, choose someone doing a small business or anything
राइट
of that sorts. So it won't change what we just discussed. So just choose a different character this time, na?
राइट थैंक यू सर
Jain sir, Jain sir,
Sir, I wanna
Hi sir,
ask.
Madan here.
sir, can I
Hi,
speak?
Hello,
who is speaking?
Jain
One
sir.
minute.
Jai,
Chalo, Narayan,
can
go
I
ahead.
speak, sir? Okay,
Narayan, go ahead.
thank you, sir. Sir, I have two doubts. Actually, first doubt is when I speak in the public, no, sometimes I get stuck while speaking. Then like it comes like oh, this type of sounds are coming. Will it be a problem in group discussion?
Yeah, it does hamper your performance when you get stuck when you are in a group, then how will you be able to put across your points confidently? तो
Uh,
वो प्रैक्टिस से ही जाएगा. ओके, I'll try and organize some informal sessions with you all where you can come together. I won't be moderating those sessions, but I'll just create the forum for you to have regular practice for these group tasks and psych tests. So उसमें if you
sir.
keep practicing, uh, you will improve automatically. I will.
Sir, again, second doubt. What Neha Didi said, like she thought said that like all about this negative images, no,
Hmm.
means the negative stories. So I have seen one picture where a man was lying on the bed and the woman was standing outside and crying. And in that scenario, what we must do?
ऐसे पिक्चर स्पेसिफिक तो मैं नहीं बताऊंगा यार because it should be your imagination. तुम बताओ, like if a
Right.
person was sleeping on the
I
bed
have a
and
solution for it.
ओट वाला तो बहुत ही अच्छा था.
oh, who is this? Please mute yourself.
In that
Okay.
scenario means can
No,
I
I
write a
won't.
story in a negative way?
There is, again, I explained it to you just a while ago. There is no negative way or positive way.
That type of story is also a drama because it is not a negative
Yeah,
perception
you
of a
can't avoid the situation. You can't make it a drama. You can't make it a movie scene or something. It is a real life situation given to you. So, assuming it is real life, what will you do?
Thank you, sir.
sir.
Sir, I wanna
Thank you,
ask.
sir.
Sir, I have a doubt. Can I ask for it?
What is
Having a
the
doubt.
difference
Guys,
between
again, I'm
PP?
really sorry. It is 5 minutes past the scheduled end time of the session.
Sir,
I'm
I am
really
a
sorry for
fresher,
ending.
so sir,
Hold on. I'll share a uh, forum for you to ask your doubts, even regarding screening in. So keep your doubts ready. Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I have to leave now. This is an important appointment I have at 10. So I'm not taking any doubts, but please give me 3 or 4 days maximum. By this weekend, I'll take all your doubts, and over the course of the next 2, 3 weeks, I'll try and answer all the doubts that all of the around 600 students who joined both the groups have. All right, I'm really sorry for not being able to interact one-on-one every day. Time नहीं मिल रहा उतना. But yeah, I'll try and solve all your doubts by the end of these 2, 3 weeks. So please post those doubts in the channel I open. Mostly on Instagram only because DMs में बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. It will be either through comments or reply to stories, and then I'll collect all your doubts and कुछ कुछ common doubts होते हैं, like 10 लोगों ने same doubt पूछा होगा, so I don't need to waste time answering the same thing again and again. तो प्लीज कम देयर एंड आस्क योर डाउट्स, फिर एक साथ सब कुछ आंसर हो जाएगी. Alright, thank you. I'm ending this session now. Hope you all have a good evening. I'll see you all tomorrow and I'll share the slides after some time. If you have specific doubts about today's session, which are, again, please, if I say that, then you people will start personal messaging me and I won't be able to reply to all. So keep your doubts to yourself for now. We'll answer them in the next 3-4 days. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you everyone for joining. Bye bye. Good night. हाँ वो PPDT and OIR marks का I have already covered in my previous YouTube video. You can just go to SSB Bro YouTube channel. There was one dedicated video on screening tests. It was actually an Instagram live session which was recorded and then posted on YouTube. So one of you please volunteer to go through that video and share that info. उसका एक screenshot डाल के group में डाल दो.
Okay,
And
sir.
from today, I'll open the group for discussion only for 1 or 2 hours every day because you guys are spamming a lot. So after the session, the group will be opened for I think 2 hours
Sir,
from let's say 10 to 12. उसी time पे you can
sir,
discuss.
kind help
Remaining time it will be
my side, sir.
off.
Sir, I am a class 11 student. I want to ask that how can I improve my communication because when I go for a stage